Hey hey everyone, what's up? This is the other half 1993 here with another tips and tricks. And I know I said in my last tips and tricks I was going to do side decking part 2 for this video, but I decided to skip that because there's a string of events coming up here that's going to be officially sponsored by Konami, and my local, actually this Saturday, the one I usually film, Coliseum Gaming, is doing this type of tournament too. It's a Pegasus League. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it, but for those who haven't, Pegasus League, actually hang on a second, I'm going to scoot this a little closer, so Pegasus League is essentially, it's a new type of tournament that utilizes, sorry guys, I'll be adjusting this for a couple seconds while I explain this, but Pegasus League is a special kind of tournament that follows traditional format, but it also utilizes one new rule that hasn't been applied to any other Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament. And it changes from month to month. This month is every single card in your deck has to be the same rarity. And there are a lot of different options you can try with this. The one a lot of people seem to be going for is, well actually I don't know what a lot of people are going for now that I think about it, because simply because, like, there's so many different things you could do. Well, I'm gonna get the mouse off the screen. There's so many different things you could do as far as Pegasus League stuff goes. I've heard people talk about an Ultra Chaos deck with Emperor Dragon and Envoy, or Envoy the End, Emperor Dragon and Envoy the Beginning, which is the Blackluster Soldier. I've heard talk about super rares. Actually, if I had the cards to do it, I would be very interested in trying a gold rare deck, which it sounds really limited, but it actually does make a pretty decent dark / monarch type deck. You've got your Sangan, your Necros, your Crushes, Veil of Darkness, Demok, Dad. Then you've got your staples, Monster Reborn, Premature Burial, Heavy Storm, Gold Sarcophagus, all that kind of stuff. And I think it'd be a really interesting idea to try a gold rare deck, but like I said, I do not have all the cards to do that. So instead, I'm going to try one of two common decks myself, and common seems to be the thing most people are talking about. And that's I'll just introduce a couple ideas as far as common decks and maybe other rarities goes. A common deck I've been thinking about, and the cards of which I'm holding in my hand is a Monarch deck. And for those of you who don't know, in Gold Series 2 and in some of the previous structure decks, the Monarchs have actually been released in common forms. Borg, I think, is only common form from Gold Series 2. Mobius and the Stalos are a common form from both Gold Series 2 and from their respective structure decks, the Water and Fire ones. And then as far as like supporting stuff goes, you have Spies and Guard, which really should be in either build, which could be either like a macro build. Sorry, I know these are upside down. Like a macro build with the survivors and maybe scout planes, or I don't have them right next to me to show you as an example, but if you want to try a common graveyard based build with maybe like Foolish Burial and Treeborn Frog and well there's some Hydrogeddons. Yeah, you can try a Monarch build that uses Treeborn Frog and some Hydrogeddons. Treeborn Frog, also a common in Gold Series 2, so that could really help you out. Another common-based deck you could try, I actually just thought of this just now, I wasn't planning to build it or anything, but you could try the Gadgets. Those are always a good, it's always a good thing to have, and then stuff like Banisher of the Radiance, and then maybe even stuff like Cyber Phoenix. I know people used to use that in Gadgets when they were not really popular, but as popular as they ever were. So those are some common ideas. What I'm actually leaning towards, which has actually been biased since I'm, as many of you may have guessed by now, a huge fan of this deck type, is a common Gladiator Beast deck. And what I was thinking about using was just a few monsters, 13. I was thinking about I don't have all the monsters with me to show you, but 2 Andal, 2 Hoplomys, 3 Lucari, what is that, 7, 2 Murmillo is 9, 1 Bestiary, 2 Quest, and 1 Darius is 13. That was my intended monster lineup. I thought maybe about using Test Tape, but then I figured I was also going to be using 3 of Gladiator Proving Ground, so that Test Tape isn't really necessary. I do have all this stuff. I just don't have it all together right now to show you in this video, which I really should have planned ahead of time, but whatever. Also, smashing, fissure, maybe some soul takers would be a good idea for common gladiator beast. And then obviously stuff like Wabaku, maybe Sakuretsu armor. That's whatever floats your own boat though. So that's pretty much, I don't want to say that's it for common stuff. Oh, wait, there's one more common deck. I don't have the stuff to build it, but since Catapult Turtle, as of Duelist Pack Yugi, is a common card, you could do common Scientist OTK. Gylosaurus is a common, and I believe Dark Beginnings too. As far as how Scientist OTK works, I'll go over it really, really fast. Basically what you do is you get Scientist and Catapult Turtle on the field via Reasoning, Monster Incarnation, Monster Reborn, just all that kind of stuff. And what you want to do is get, like I said, Magical Scientist and Catapult Turtle on the field. Use Scientist effect, pay 1,000, bring out a fusion monster with more than 2,000 attack. It can be 2,100 even. Launch for Catapult Turtle, and then launch after you've got yourself down to 1,000 life points and summoned all those fusion monsters. Launch Catapult Turtle itself and Scientist for game. It's the reason Scientist was banned, this deck type, and it's really just a really effective deck. I don't know how effective it would be in all common form. I might try to build it if I had all this stuff. I know I don't though, so just like all those random fusion monsters with more than 2,000 attack from really old packs was going to be a bit hard to get a hold of. Now as far as Super goes, there have been some ideas for Super decks floating around out there. To be honest, I really couldn't tell you what they are. I haven't looked too much into them because I'm planning to build some variation of a common deck myself. But be it Monarch or Gladiator Beast, it's going to be one of those two. I really don't know for sure yet. You could do a Super deck. This opens up options for stuff like Smashing Ground, Spy, Mirror Force, all this Champion Pack stuff. And, yeah, like I said, I really wish I was more informed with this. Well, I guess you could do Malicious, Krebons, Allure, Stardust Dragon, Colossal Fighter. I think that was a Super. Let me just check real quick. I have my deck box right here, actually. I'm pretty sure Colossal Fighter was a Super. Gaia Knight. Yeah, Magical Android too. Yeah, was a Super. There's just a lot of really interesting stuff you could do with Super here as far as Synchro Summoning goes. Yeah, the one disadvantage to a common deck is that while it does have access to a lot of tuners, including Airbellum along with Cats, the only common Synchro monster is Junk Warrior from the latest Structure deck. So that wouldn't really work out too well. But, yeah, you could do a Super Synchro deck. That would work out pretty well, I think. Again, Ultra Rare Chaos Sunday I've heard thrown around. Gold Rare, if you've got all this stuff for it, it will be a little... I haven't built the deck list, and I haven't tested it all, but I did build a deck list for a Gold Rare deck. Like I said, it will be a little space constrained, but other than that, it should work out. Well, not space constrained. It'll be a bit difficult to make 40 cards, especially with spells. It's where I had a lot of trouble. I had to end up having to use 3 Veil of Darkness, but it should still work out fine. Don't get me wrong. A Gold Rare deck would be pretty cool. Common is the one I expect to see most people using. I'm going to use it myself. Again, either a common Monarch or Gladiator Beast deck. I'm not sure which yet. Also, one very important thing that you should remember about these Gold Series tournament, or not Gold Series, Pegasus League tournaments, is that they are a traditional format. So whatever you're using, whatever rarity you're using, do not forget your traditional staples. For example, myself, in either common deck, I'm planning to use Pot of Greed and Dark Hole for sure, and Premature Burial, and Monster Reborn. Those 4 for sure in either of these decks. In the Monarch deck, I could use Change of Heart and Snatch Steel for some nice monster control, along with Brain Control and Soul Exchange. That would be the main idea behind that deck. As far as normal rare goes, I don't really know of any normal rare deck that would do good. Well, I'm sure there's one out there, I just can't think of what it would be. But for other rarities, don't forget your Harpy's Feather Dusters, your Raigekis, your Confiscations, Snatch Steel. There's one I'm forgetting right now. I was just going to say it too. Harpy's Feather no, I already said Harpy's Feather Duster. Crap, I can't remember what it is. Oh, Graceful Charity. Yeah, don't forget your Graceful Charities either. But yeah, so like I said, don't forget your traditional stuff with these Pegasus League decks. Now, I'm almost out of time here, but I just like to say, this tournament, or this next upcoming Saturday when I record for my tournaments, it is going to be a Pegasus League tournament, and I will, as of right now, I'm looking to record that. My plans may change. It's highly unlikely, though. So this Saturday, possibly Sunday, you can look forward to seeing videos of Pegasus League matches. So that should be interesting. Anyway, I'm out of time now, so this is the other half 1993 with another edition of Tips and Tricks. So peace out, guys. See you later.